I'm gonna make this video as quick as possible and try to answer the questions to the most vulnerable extent that I can and make it quick as I answer them. So the first prompt is, our packaging encases us, but our experiences shape us. The more that we see about a person, the more that we understand them and their values. Have your experiences ever changed the way you present yourself? In what way and why has it changed? My experiences have absolutely changed the way that I have presented myself over time. I think the way that a person presents themselves is usually to adapt to certain environments. When I'm at a job interview, I have to be confident. I have to smile a lot. And I think these are things that I was taught growing up in the environment that I grew up in order to be successful at a job and maintain a job. There has to be certain qualities about you. You have to be friendly and you have to be confident and you have to be a hard worker. And I believe that I portray these as a survival mechanism to be able to keep my job. When I was younger, I didn't really have a father, I didn't really have guidance. So I would present myself in a very tough way because of the music that I listened to. I didn't really have the best environment and stuff. So I felt like I had to put on a persona or a shell of myself in order to be a certain way. And obviously that's changed over time. I've come to know who I am, and I have learned to present who I am to the world in the way that I'm doing now. And the reason that that's changed is because of maturity of life, experience, and knowing who I want to be now and knowing where I want to go. Some people prefer to leave valuable products in their packaging unopened or barely used. Do you relate? I think I did for a long time, and I think I continue to relate to this day, as I haven't completely gotten over all my fears and completely mastered myself in the way that I would like. I don't believe I don't believe that's ever an attainable thing, at least what I envision myself to be. I think it's very much the result of perfectionism, wanting everything to be perfect. I think the game of life goes on and you constantly have battles to, overcome and conquer. I think that's just the way that I see things. At times I feel like I'm boxed in. I feel like I can't completely be myself at work. I feel like I have to, like I said earlier, be a hard worker, be competent, and be all these things. Barely used or unopened. I do feel like I have healthy outlets now. I feel like I have good hobbies. I'm in a very good place in my life now. Is there a significant moment in life when I opened up when I was 19 years old? A friend of mine, I was at a very low point, and a friend of mine came to me and he kind of questioned me about my life, and he introduced me to the concept of a higher power of God. And I opened up because I felt comfortable with him. He really got to know me, he spent time with me, and he invested in me. And I think because of that, it completely changed my entire life. And I feel less boxed in than I was back then. Steve Jobs said packaging can be a theater, it can create a story. What does our personal packaging communicate, and is this message important? I think the way you present yourself has to be as authentic as possible. I really believe in that for everybody. It can be misleading the way that people present themselves. They can present themselves to be good people, but they can be completely evil people. So the way that people present themselves can't always be relied upon. I think that we have to be good at interpreting who people are, and I think the way that you can do that is, it's through their energy, it's through their eyes, the way they move, the way they talk to you. I think if that stuff is paid attention to extreme extent, not even an extreme extent, but like if you just pay attention to it just enough, then you can see who people really are. And especially during hard times, that's when character comes out. No one wants to be criticized and put in a box. Have you ever been mislabeled? I feel like I've been mislabeled all the time, by my mom, a lot. By my skin color. I didn't grow up around a lot of Indian people. I grew up around white, black people, and Hispanic people. And a lot of the time, the first thing people see is my brown skin, especially as a kid growing up. And I've learned over time that is the first thing people see, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's who I have to be or whatever I think they view brown people as. Were you able to change someone's initial perception of you? I think I've spent my entire life doing that because I felt like I had to. I didn't want to come across as, the Indian boy that smelled like curry, that makes straight A's, and whose dad works at a gas station, And I tried very hard. I was very insecure in myself, but now I know who I am, gratefully. So